assisted suicide, and euthanasia. The definition of euthanasia is the act of putting to death someone suffering from a painful and prolonged illness or injury, and the definition of assisted suicide is providing the means to end a patient's life with knowledge of the patient's intentions, both defined by the American Nurses Association. Brittany Menard was a 29-year-old newlywed of about a year who got diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer with only 6 months to live. And instead of dying from the cancer taking over her body, she decided to die through assisted suicide. The process through retaining a prescription for assisted suicide is not easy. First, the patient has to make their first oral request to their physician. Then they have a 15-day waiting period. Then the patient may make the second oral request to their physician and submit a written request to their physician. Fourth, the physician must sign off on that patient's request and verify they obtain the requirements by the law. And last, they have a 48 waiting period before the patient can pick up their prescribed medication. Like I said earlier, the patient must meet requirements by the law for the physician to legally prescribe them an assisted suicide. And these obligations are: they must be 18 years or older, they must be a resident where assisted suicide is legal, they must be capable of making and communicating healthcare decisions for him or herself, they must be diagnosed with a terminal illness that will lead to death within 6 months, and two physicians from the state of where the resident is requesting the prescription must sign off that all these criteria have been met. There are only 4 states that have legalized assisted suicide as stated by the timeline. The first to pass an assisted suicide law was Oregon in 1997 with the Death with Dignity Act. Next, in 2008, Washington passed the same Death with Dignity Act. Then in 2013, Vermont followed by passing the Patient Choice and Control at End of Life Act. And finally, in 2015, California passed the End of Life Option Act.